Greetings, everyone. This is Dr. Colosimo, and I'm here with a couple of our fine senior students, Callie and Marissa, and this is the Senior Review. We started this last year. It was very popular, but the idea of the Senior Review is to interview a number of graduating seniors and then take these interviews and have them broadcast in and around the 10 days surrounding all the graduation exercises. And it isn't necessarily any one particular agenda, but the idea is that the Juan Diego community wants to hear from our graduating students. And so with that, I welcome Callie and Marissa. And I guess I'll start with you, Callie. Can you just give us a little background as to how you started at the Skaggs Catholic Center?
So I was at Challenger my entire life, all the way up until 8th grade. And then in 8th grade, when we were kind of looking at schools, my mom had heard about Juan Diego a little bit. So we came and we took a tour. And immediately after we took the tour, we knew that this was just kind of the place for me. The tour guides have been really amazing. And it just like all of the opportunities and the education here sounded like what I was looking for. So I ended up moving here my freshman year. And then after that, my family actually followed. So my mom then moves and she teaches 2nd grade now. And now all my brothers are here as well.
So it started as a onesie and now it's a family affair.
Yes.
And Marissa, what about you? When did you come?
Yeah, so I went to elementary school at Blessed Sacrament, and then I came here for middle school just because the middle school has so many opportunities, even like just from a young age. So my parents and I decided to go there. And then just because I went to St. John's, it was kind of a given that I'd come to Juan Diego.
Were you part of the St. John's Academy?
Yes,
Did you lead that? Were you like one of the first
I think I was the second year to start that,
second
yeah.
group. And so say what the St. John's Academy is.
So the St. John's Academy is kind of where, as an 8th grader, you have the opportunity to take even more accelerated courses, meaning you would take courses that are meant for freshmen in high school. So instead of taking a usual 8th grader's like physics class, I took environmental science, and then I took, I think it was Algebra 1 instead of, I don't know, whatever the 8th grade math would be. So I just took the freshman year courses early. Yeah.
But you were ready for Algebra 1 as an 8th grader. So the academy says, okay, you can take Algebra 1, which meant as a 9th grader, you could take geometry.
Yeah, it just kind of prepped me for high school a little bit more. It was really nice. I liked it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you came from a Challenger background, which is obviously a great school, started as the 9th grade. And so talk a little bit about like your academic experiences. Were you in AP classes? Did you take honors classes? Like, what did you do, Callie?
Yeah, coming from Challenger, I knew that I wanted somewhere that had really good academic opportunities, just because that had been such an important part of my life up to that point. So I immediately started out in freshman year with AP Art History, which is still to this day one of my favorite classes that I've taken
Who
here.
taught that class?
It was Miss Whitaker. And Miss McConnell was still here at the time doing a lot of the lectures.
So they were a good team, right?
Yes,
So Miss McConnell would just come in like twice a quarter or something. And then Miss Whitaker took over after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that was the first AP class I took. And then since then, I've taken a lot more classes. I've been in the Capstone program, and it's just really been a great academic experience. I feel like I've learned a lot in a lot of different areas too, not just in.
What is AP Capstone?
AP Capstone is where you take a certain number of AP classes, as well as AP Seminar and AP World your sophomore year, and then AP Research your junior year. So that means that I was able to graduate with a capstone diploma, which is really amazing. We just received that about a week ago. And that has really opened it up because I've learned so much about research and presentation skills and seminar. And then just taking all of those AP classes, it really helped my education in general.
Marissa, did you do something similar?
Yes, I did both seminar and research too, so I also got the capstone diploma.
Yeah, so kind of the same. How many AP classes did you take?
I have taken 10 now, including the 2 that I'm in this year, so.
Are you done with AP tests?
Yes, I am. I had my last one on Wednesday.
Yeah, so that's good. You can
It was very nice, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Kelly?
I'm the same. I took my last one on Wednesday, and I've taken 9, I think, over the course of high school.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I mean, is it fair to say that with AP Capstone, that it almost is like a school within a school, that, you same teachers? I mean, talk a little bit about how that group of students becomes, special.
Yeah, so my experience with AP Capstone was great because in AP Seminar, one of the parts is a group presentation and project. And through that project, I met two girls who I really love now, and I think they're best friends now. I don't see them as much anymore, but I still love them, and we always make jokes about like sea lampreys, which is what our presentation was about, so it was really great.
And some of the teachers tend to be the same.
Yeah, so we had Mr. Hauser for seminar, and then we had Mr. Hauser again this year for AP Gov, and it's been really great to have him for 2 years in a row.
Yeah. So, and what about you? Like, how do you kind of view this little, enclave of AP experiences?
Yeah, I feel like it's been really interesting to get to know the people because you kind of, once you get into sort of seminar and research, you're with the same group of people a lot. And it was really interesting, especially in research when we were each doing our own projects that were all very different and very individual. I loved because we would do different presentations at different checkpoints. So I would get to hear about the first version of someone's project, and then a couple months later come back, hear that they'd maybe changed it entirely and they were doing something a little bit different now. But I feel like I really have gotten to know that group of people just from being in the same classes all of those years. And I feel like the Capstone program has been something that I knew I wanted to do coming into the school, and I'm really grateful that I did it.
Yeah. So, talk a little bit about your college aspirations. What are you going to do?
So I plan to go to Gonzaga University, and right now I'm planning to major in human physiology because I'm hoping to eventually go into occupational therapy.
Yeah. So you'll start at Gonzaga in the fall.
Yes.
Are you excited about that?
I'm super excited. I toured the campus, I think about a month ago, and I loved it so much. It was just beautiful. It was great.
Where is Gonzaga? Where's it located?
It's in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, we've had a number of Juan Diego kids come.
Yeah.
So
I feel like when I was walking around the campus, it just gave me kind of the same vibe as Juan Diego. It had a great community, and you could tell everyone there just really loved it. So it was great.
Good. And then what are your college?
I'm going to be attending Georgetown University in the fall. I'm planning on majoring in political science, and eventually my plan is to go to law school.
Yeah, so that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
So do you think, why would Georgetown know anything about political science?
The location, it's actually kind of a full circle moment for me because when I was 8, I took a trip to Washington, D.C., and it was like my favorite trip in the world. I was obsessed with American history at the time. So I was looking back at the pictures when I was back there, and it had been almost exactly 10 years since I had been in Washington, D.C. So being in that location, just being kind of right in the center of everything that's happening politically, and being able to kind of make change and experience that firsthand is going to be something that I'm very excited for.
Yeah, so kind of all came together for you.
Yeah.
Well, Marissa, outside of the strong academic experience that you've had, what would you say are some of the other non-academic highlights or experiences that impacted you at Juan Diego?
Well, I've been pretty involved in campus life, and actually I didn't really start campus life until my junior year. And I do think that's one of my biggest regrets of high school because I immediately fell in love with it.
What did you do in campus life?
I started in Senate, and then I've now been a student ambassador and a Kairos leader. And my favorite experiences are definitely being a Kairos leader and being an ambassador. I've gotten to meet so many people, I've gotten to go to so many different events.
What do you think of the uniform that the ambassadors have to wear?
It might not be the most comfortable, but I do think we look really nice in it.
Yeah,
I like the blazers, they're
so
nice.
in the winter it's not too bad, but it kind of can be hard in the 1st of August that you got to dress up.
It can be a little warm, but I don't know. I just feel like when I put on that blazer, I just feel very professional. And I'm like, this is what I'm meant to do. I love it.
Yeah, that was one of the very first programs we started at Juan Diego 25 years ago. There was a great English teacher who could see that we were having all of these hospitality events and all of these formal events. And we felt like it would be better if the students were to kind of represent us. And so that was the very first thing we did. We called it Student Ambassadors. She picked out the uniform that essentially hasn't changed in 25 years. And it's kind of a hallmark, right, of what the Juan Diego experience. Anybody that is a dignitary who has come and been part of, not even necessarily a dignitary, but it's just like a school mass, you always see the ambassadors out there kind of leading the way,
Yeah.
What about you? Were you an ambassador?
Yes, I was. I was ambassador for 2 years.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about that.
I loved the ambassador program. I feel like the opportunities I got with ambassadors were really amazing. There were so many things, I remember I was up at the Bishop's dinner at the Grand America, and I got to just meet all the people coming in, kind of greet them, show them where they're going. And just being able to be a part or be present for those opportunities has been really, really cool.
Do you think it kind of advanced your don't want to say professional skills, but to advance your social ability to interact with people that maybe that wouldn't have happened elsewise.
Yeah, definitely. Just because like being able to talk to adults, the same like thing that Marissa was saying, have a level of like professionalism as well. I feel like I've really been prepared for everything else because I've been able to talk to people and just have that practice with like that real life interaction.
Yeah, you get a lot of practice. What about you? Do you feel like there's some skills that'll stay with you?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's a level of professionalism that comes with being an ambassador. And I think it just kind of teaches you how to be like yourself in a certain environment while also maintaining a level of like respect and professionalism. Because, I've been interviewing for jobs recently because I'd like to, save some money before college. And I've noticed that I use the skills that I've learned from ambassadors in those interviews because it taught me those skills that I need.
That would be great, huh? I mean,
Yeah.
that's pleasing for a principal to hear that there's skills that just carry on.
Mm-hmm.
Come back in 4 years and say what you think, because college will be, both those outstanding colleges, you'll be introduced to all kinds of people that have not just your classmates, but, professors and visiting speakers. And I think you'll find yourself using those skills a lot. Well, Marissa and Callie, thanks for visiting at the senior review, and we'll put this all together, and at some point in and around graduation, your family can watch it.
Cool.
Sounds
Thank you for
good.
having us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Yeah.